Hi, this is Lauralei in the Lou, and welcome to my Flosstube. It's been a little while since I did a video, so I'm going to do some FFOs, some fully finished objects. I'm going to do some whips. I am going to also, which is very exciting for me, and I may do another video, and if I do, I'll link to it. I designed a cross stitch, so you'll get a special offer from my very first cross stitch design. But anyway, I'm going to start because there's a lot, and that way you won't get a lot of the stuff. I have been stitching a lot. I just haven't been videotaping. This is an FFO, and a lot of these that are finished, I don't have the original. If you want to know what it is, I can probably look it up. And this one, quilting is a work of, and I'm going to put a heart or something there. But you see, I finished it like a quilt, and I put a little thing to make a loop. Since this is going to be in my sewing room, I love to do sewing related stuff, quilt related stuff. So that was one I have done previously. Now this is a really old vintage one. Love is the thread that joins friends together. Did that a long time ago. Did the quilt, did a little loop-de-loop. If you hear noises in the background, it's Dudley. Hey, Dudley. I have two standard poodles. I've threatened them, do not bark, and we'll see how long that lasts. Also, he's a trained service dog. I trained him to pick up anything that you drop. I do use him somewhat as a service dog. He picks up stuff that you drop when you go to get up. He braces you, but it's not like I take him to stores or anything. He'll carry in the groceries, things like that. So if I drop one of my cross stitch and holler, you'll know it's because, hey, don't pick that up. Here's another one. Very, very basic, but just to hang in the sewing room. And I finished it off as a wall hanging again with the thing in the back. This was made in 1995. Now this isn't cross stitch related at all, but it was hanging up near my stuff, so I really like this one. It's the little flaps are not, they got little loops in them, buttons and bows from 1995. Now this one was one of my very first Christmas ones I did. Like pretty much I call it a full coverage. My very first fabric I also hand dyed. And so far my only way of hand dyeing, which I really, really like, is with art tissue paper. And there's a certain type. It has to be the kind that bleeds. Bleeding art tissue paper. And you wet your I could do a video on that, but isn't this one pretty? My snowman. And these, I don't know how I'm going to finish them. So if you have suggestions, I'm thinking about maybe a pillow. Because, you only put up at Christmas, so I don't want to I could put it in a frame and like put it on the piano or something. This one, of course, is going to be a project bag. We've got a theme going of Christmas and stitch related. Now this one, on linen, and I think it's linen. Maybe it's even weave. I don't know. It was little. And I tried so many ways to mark it, and I messed up so bad. But it's the antique shop, and I really, really enjoyed doing it. Took forever, but I don't know if you can notice, I started marking it off because it was so hard for me to count. I started marking it off in pencil, and then I did threads, and then I started stitching it, and I didn't pull the threads, so then the black threads got incorporated into the stitching. But I love doing that one. Here's a little vintagey one. Remember when we used to do stuff like this? And I just finished it this year. We used to do these little bears and And they're still cute. Guess what? More kind of quilt related. This one will just, I'm just going to make it a wall hanging for my sewing room. Now this, I always wanted to do long dog sampler. This is spangled. In the picture, it is like peaches and my favorite type of mauves and stuff. But when you stitch it, it comes out brighter. And it actually comes out brighter than you're actually seeing it here. But I love this one. I need to do another long dog. And my stitches aren't perfect, but I love houses and quilt. And there you go. And I just have one more. And this one, I finished it kind of rustic. And this one was trial and error. I really wanted to replicate somehow. See, this is not cross stitch. I wanted to replicate these triangles. And I did this border. And then it's kind of jaggedy, got rustic threads hanging. And I kind of left it that way. It's like I kind of like it that way. But I really did like this one. I didn't bring it over, but I have done a Scrabble board. I have the chart to the Monopoly. I have several to do cross stitch boards. I want to do Parcheesi. I also love doing project bags. This was a placemat, and I turned it into this lace. Zippers are really easy to do project bags. This is going to be kind of a sneak peek because I think I'm going to do a whole nother video because I am going to give you a, well, let's see the paper. This is my very first cross stitch design. Let's see if I have everything in here that I want to do. Of course, this is the one thing I didn't pull out and totally prepare because I have it in another thing. Oh, yes, I do. I did this a few years ago for somebody. I don't have a picture of it. Oh, yes, I do. We were doing a smalls exchange. I never did a smalls exchange, so I asked the lady about 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, what do you like? We were supposed to do a little ornaments for Christmas. And she's like, she likes butterflies. I'm like, I looked and I looked and I looked and I couldn't find anything butterfly Christmas related. So I designed my own. Now here's the thing. And so I'm going to do a full another video on it, explain it all. And I'm going to give you a coupon code. So it's going to be like 50 cents or $1. Hopefully, and I'll link it below too. Go to my Etsy shop and be the first person. Anyway, it's a Dragonfly Christmas tree. And I made it into, this one I just made for myself. I made her one and sent it a couple years ago. But this is my and I don't know if you can see the sparkly. I did metallic thread, but I thought it turned out really cute. So it took me like 3 years but I'm going to do a whole nother video on that. So I will show that. And a sneak peek. I'm designing another one. So excited. Very, very, very excited. Sorry about the rustling. I'll give you a little sneak peek. This is butterflies. And the gold is a ribbon. So guess what that's going to be. I bet you can guess that. But in the next thing, also if anybody wants to do modelly stitches, but anyway, I have 2 stacks here of whips. Work in progress. I do a lot of jigsaw puzzles, and I like doing Charles Wysocki. This is called Amish Farm by Dimensions. And of course, it's got houses, and it's got quilts. And I do this a lot. Do you guys do this? It's like, well, you're pretty much finished. And then I don't know if I get bored with the back stitching or I lose the... I do that a lot. where you're like almost finished, but nope. Oh, I also like project bags. These are cross stitch. Little weird little things I did back in the day, and what do you do with them? Well, I guess you make them into project bags. Guess what? More little bitty Amish people. This one is actually on a postcard. Diane Grabner, Amish Simple Life. Isn't that sweet though? And here you go again. Almost finished. This one would be a cute, make like an Amish sampler quilt out of that one. Won't that be cute? Do it with a solid. Amish do the solid, like the blacks and all the stuff. Guess what? Sewing related. Paula Vaughn, the upstairs sewing room. And I usually film over in my sewing room, but I got this handy dandy, as you can see in my glasses, ring light, and put it over here in my real estate office next door. I love that. I love those colors. For some reason, I guess I don't really enjoy stitching Paula Vaughn. I like the look, and when we get to the back stitching, this one's cute. Now this is Creative Accents Cowboy Cats. I am not stitching the First National Bank in the background. It's got some words, and I'm not going to stitch those words. They just did nothing for me. This one, I'm almost done and just doing some back stitching. But of course, with this, I did get sidetracked because, you know, when you design a cross-stitch piece, you know, that's the fun part of it. But then you got to stitch it. So then I don't spend all my time stitching it, but you do spend a good portion of your time stitching it. Then you got to finish it, then you got to photograph it, then you got to... This one's in a cute little cross-stitch bag that I did. And these, I had this on my Etsy shop, and then I sold them. So if anybody's interested in some cross-stitch bags, and I did this with my Cricut, I can, in cute little motif in there. So this one I don't have the pattern of because it was out of a magazine. Christmas Angel, 1991, by Marilyn Levitt. Sample, something like that. May not be sold or kitted. I don't know what that means, but I made that note. But isn't that this cute? Christmas Angel. And a lot of these older ones, you'll see I've done it on different material. I have pretty much found that I love Ada. Like this one. Is this linen or even weed? But this is the fabric it came with her. Teresa Wensler. Oh, I don't have. Carousel Horse Summer. I don't have very Teresa Wensler because they are hard. They're hard and, but oh, it's gorgeous. Look at this. Even the flowers up on the top are so pretty. And the horse, And this one, for some reason, I think there's a lot of thread changes, and I don't think I brought it with me today, but I have a Thomas Kincaid full coverage, and oh my word, I'm up in the corner. I can't get past it because you stitch for 2 hours and you're still just in the little speckled background, and you seem like you don't get anywhere. I enjoy it. I'm gonna have to sneeze. Sorry, I might have to take that out. This is the little kit that I'm almost done with. Janlyn, Snow Angel. Isn't that little cute? And I think on this one, all I have to do was a little stars and stuff on black thread. Hey, Dad. He's going by the camera. Okay, making a list. Dudley, move. Who's this even by? I don't know, it says making a list. Mass Green Lugana. A little bitty picture. It's kind of a vintagey Santa guy. And it's on big fabric. That's another one. I guess that's half my problem. What do you do with them? Do you just frame them? Do you just make them into pillows? What do you do with all of this? This is a weird, well, this one I don't even have open. Oh, this is a weird project bag I made. I applicate on these crazy circus characters. But I just like this, and I thought, ooh, that would make a nice circus. This is one that's, there's so dimensions. I've seen this on other 3 Bird Watchers, and it's really cute, but the colors are so muted. It's hard to want to work on it. But that one would be really cute, and that one would be one that I would frame. So that would be good. Here's another one that is quilt motif, kind of Amish. And I don't know that there's a picture. This one's Under the Orchard. Under the Orchard, 1988 by Marilyn Levitt Symbol. What I had done is I had bought up, it was an amazing deal, $50 for 2 boxes of cross-stitch stuff. One of them was these are all finished ones. One of them was a box of nothing but DMC floss, like a big box. And the other one was a box of half-finished projects. So these vintage ones were someone copied out of a book or a magazine and then had all the fabric and all that. It was amazing. This one I've said before, I think it's the only time I made this mistake getting this design, but it was on AliExpress, so it was cheap, but because it's not the real thing, so I feel real bad at that, but I have it. And I hand dyed this fabric, just Ada, and so I'm stitching this. I don't know if you've noticed, I've changed the top. I'm not stitching the word Noel. I'll put some other motif. I don't know why. I just don't necessarily, just because it's red and gold doesn't mean it's only Christmas. So I'm not going to stitch the word Noel. I am going to either put something else in it or go from there. This one, I have, every year we shop for Christmas and gifts out of our Amazon wish list. So every year I've put something in the Amazon wish list as that's cross-stitch related. So I had this kit, Design Works Kitty's Sewing Lesson. Look at this, full coverage. Guys, be quiet. Just pre-warning them. And this one, I just have some spots to fill in, but I am pretty much done. And then, of course, there's back stitch. Isn't that pretty, though? And, of course, that'll be a wall hanging. It'll go in my sewing room. And it's in another one of these bags with these cute little penguins. We do the cute little penguins. This next one I bought off of eBay. And it's just, you ever look on eBay and there are things that somebody started or they inherited it, and my hair is flat hair, and they've started it, and then you buy it. This is an artiste, Dapper Dog. Now, I enjoy doing it, but I do not like the colors. But I think it's going to be cuter than I think. So that's one I'm working on. This is one that Jim Shore. It's very pretty. It is Jim Shore. Well, it should have a name of it. Something Santa. Who knows? But anyway, this one, if you see a name on there, all it says is Jim Shore. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. And I am so off on this one. Do you ever have a project where you're just so off and you just keep having to... Fortunately, I'm not off on this border or the blue and white. I'm just off on the Santa. So I have been tweaking it, because you're off like one. It's like, okay, so every time you sew it, you have to really pay attention to what you're doing. And I have it in, now this one is another one. This fabric I found is kind of cross-stitchy fabric, and made it into a project bag for, should be for Christmas stuff. Are either one of these Christmas? My stack is getting really tall. This is one where I work for a while and then I put it away, but I really like it. Charles Wysocki, Frederick. A lot of people have this one. Well, let's see if we can get it without the glare. There you go. But it's on black. So I don't know about you, but I have to be in the mood to work on black. And I have a question for you. In a lot of the videos, people say, and this is one of the very few ones, this one and the sewing one on linen that I put in a Q-snap. Otherwise, I stitch in hand. But a lot of people say, sorry, I didn't iron it. Being a sewer, seamstress, I don't understand that, because when you iron something, if there's any staining, or see, I have my little Q-snap, and my little grime guard is a steering wheel cover from the Dollar Tree. If there's any kind of staining or stuff, by heating it, you set it in. So I've never understood that, so I'm never gonna iron it before it's done. This is another one. This I got at the Needlework Galleria about 2 years ago, Mill Hill. I think this is my only Mill Hill kit. Stitch in Time. I might have other ones that I haven't started. This, surprisingly, it took a lot of sewing, and it has some specialty stitches. It has some beads, and I'm pretty much almost done, so I need to get this one out. This one is in a really cool bag that I did. Wild About Stitching. Isn't that cute with little monkeys? My mother loved monkeys. This one I've had in my Etsy shop. So if anybody's interested in my Etsy shop, project bags, let me know, because I don't currently have any in there, but I have some extra ones I can put in there. Let's do this one. This is just a random one. I have a plan. Oh, I don't see. I have another one, and I don't see it. It's a house with quilts, but I want to do a, this is just a quilt motif in a cute Santa bag. This was a placemat, and then I did this on the Cricut. I want to do a cross-stitch thing, but where the quilts are three-dimensional. I'm doing quilts on separate fabric, and then I'm going to like hang them on a clothesline or I thought that would be really cute. This one is one of the kits I had put on my Etsy shop. It's a gold collection, Dimensions Christmas Village Ornaments. This one full coverage, the background and everything. And this, my goal was to get these done by Christmas, but now I've started doing my own design. So this one, so I'm still going to get a couple of them done. This one is all finished except for back stitching. And I've started doing a little bit of back stitching, you see. So that's the first one. And they're so pretty, aren't they? That's the second one. Third one. Fourth one. See the little horse? Now these next ones, you can't really see much. Number 5. I'm not sure about this pink color. Pink's my favorite color, but we'll see. This will probably come together cute, but... And then the gray one. So as you've seen, what I've kind of done is I've been, I stitch a color, then if I have extra, then I just move on to the next one and kind of start with the next one I'm doing. But I'm going to do a video right now with my very first cross-stitch design. I'm going to link with a special coupon code to where hopefully you guys... I haven't had my first sale. I'm going to do a special. And, but anyway, Lauralei and the Lou, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to put special things in the Etsy shop, let me know that too. Thanks for joining me. Bye.